What's going on, guys? It's Chef. So it's finally happening. We ended up getting the announcement for the anti-cheat that we're supposed to be getting for Warzone slash Vanguard. Yesterday they were teasing that they were gonna have a thing. They had like a whole list that said, you know, cheaters aren't welcome, blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow will show why and all this stuff. So they finally ended up announcing what this anti-cheat will be, what it'll consist of and stuff like that. A lot of people ended up thinking that it actually was gonna end up dropping today, and that's just, they already confirmed that it wasn't supposed to drop today. It's supposed to come with the Warzone integration, Pacific shit, whatever. So they ended up putting this video out. Let me go to the video. It says, this is Ricochet anti-cheat. So the anti-cheat is called Ricochet. I guess this is a brand new anti-cheat. Some people were laughing about it and joking and saying things like, oh, you're gonna get easy anti-cheat and people are just gonna hack on your shit anyway. I know this game that has easy anti-cheat and it gets bypassed like this and that. The logo's kind of cool, I guess. It would be really, I can already imagine the memes. If this anti-cheat gets bypassed, listen, I hope it doesn't happen. But if the anti-cheat does get bypassed, which again, just because there's an anti-cheat there doesn't necessarily mean people can't cheat at all. And just because you end up finding a hacker after this comes out doesn't mean that the anti-cheat is failing. If it just puts a massive roadblock in the way of easily accessible things, the people that are doing it are much easier to target and it's not this rampant problem. The video says shit like, Ricochet anti-cheat initiative is a multifaceted approach in Vanguard and Warzone to combat cheating, featuring a new server-side tool, enhanced investigation processes, updates to strengthen account security, and more. It's an internally developed kernel level driver. So kernel level is like some shit that you actually install on the PC, kind of like Valorant's, well, ironically enough, Valorant's Vanguard anti-cheat. Yes, they truly do want to protect Warzone, even though it's been about a year of you allowing it to suffer. But this is good shit to hear, 100%. Knowing that it's kernel level, it's good. The driver will first arrive alongside the upcoming Pacific update in Warzone and subsequently launch for Vanguard at a later date. In its initial rollout on Warzone, the kernel level driver will only operate when you play on PC. Plus, the kernel level driver only monitors and reports activity related to Call of Duty. They're dedicated and determined to evolve the Ricochet anti-cheat system over time, fighting for the community against those that aim to spoil their gaming experience. So obviously people feel some type of way. They thought the anti-cheat would show up today, whatever. People are coming up with all sorts of other excuses too, being just like, really, what's the word? I'm a very jaded individual at this point. I recognize it. I'm actively working on that, but there are people in those comments that actively just want this shit to fail. Like they genuinely do at all times. They're very, very pessimistic. Even if they do want it to work, they're just, I don't know. They just don't believe, and I understand that. I do understand that this is absolutely going to be a roadblock for a lot of avenues of cheating that are not going to exist once this happens. Now, the most negative thing you could probably say, I think the anti-cheat will work. Here's the most pessimistic thing I can say at the moment. I'll just throw it out there because I genuinely am happy about this. This is good shit, and for all the people that I know that personally have to play this shit every day, it would be nice to know that they're not losing their minds over some clearly broken shit that even the people that aren't playing it anymore know it for. Like, you ask somebody if they're playing Warzone, nah, shit, dude, fuck that. I went to the vet today. You ever just in your car, you ride past everywhere, you go by buildings, towns, people, hundreds and hundreds of other vehicles, all of the scenic routes, everything, all of the human beings that you see throughout that time over there. Everybody laughing, giggling, enjoying life. Maybe some people are. Maybe some people look as if they're not having a good time. Now, that's pretty dark, but the darkest thing about this is that of all of those hundreds of people you potentially could see every single day, or see none at all, I don't know your fucking life, I don't see people that often. Darkest thing about that entire thing, I assume that at least half of them are cheating on Warzone. That's some fucked up shit. I can't even look at people regularly anymore. My point being though, having this anti-cheat and making the game playable still doesn't necessarily make Warzone fun. I also had the idea that maybe potentially somehow at some point there would be some sort of gameplay loop break or change in Warzone. You know, the typical heartbeat sensor dose combination would be addressed at some point given how insanely popular it is among people of high levels and low levels. It just shows that it's like overly effective. I think a lot of people can agree with that. It's playable against it. People are used to it, but it is insanely effective for how unengaging it can actually be. If I had hit at least a triple with this MK2, I would have been pretty happy with that. Hitting triples with this thing is a nightmare. Body shots anyway. The thing about cheating is that, I mean, think of it like a lot of other shit, really. I mean, it's a game of cat and mouse. That's what a lot of people refer to it as. Game of cat and mouse where, you know, they come up with a new anti-cheat, boom, they come up with a new way to find it. Boom, the anti-cheat adjusts. Boom, then people find a new way to get around it. But again, there's going to be those moments in time where there isn't going to be cheating, where cheating is a lot less frequent than it at the very least is now. And only the real true dedicated cheaters will actually be doing it, and you won't have like these cases where people are just like, dude, I'm tired of getting cheated. I'm just gonna become a cheater myself. Become exactly what you sought out to destroy. Those are true stories. People do that shit. But if the cheating isn't as frequent, maybe we won't have too many, you know, Anakins. Activision even says it. Will this solve cheating issues? There is no single solution or policy to cheating. Ricochet Anti-Cheat's team commitment is the relentless pursuit of fair play, which is fought against the sophisticated issue of cheating. So there's a lot of people saying things like, oh, well, that means there will still be cheats, so therefore it's failed. It's just noise at this point. Like, those people literally cannot be convinced. The reality of it is they're going to run into a lot less cheaters with this there. Or at least they should. People are also now asking, well, what about console cheats? What about people using Cronus? What about all of this other stuff? And again, those are all other issues that have to be addressed all separately as well. And then those also evolve as well. Like, say they figure out a way to stop people from using a Cronus. The game will automatically just kick you out if it recognizes that your console has something connected to the controller or some shit like that. Then they'll evolve some way on the Cronus to where it's not detectable. Or there will be some sort of software that you could download to it to make it so it's not detected. There's gonna be so many ways. If people want to cheat, they're going to cheat. But people won't put the effort forth because most of the time, if you're a cheater, you likely give up on a lot of shit anyway. You fucking suck. You didn't have the commitment to go and get good in the first place, so why the fuck? And then there's these other people that are, you know, all yelling about it and trying to find any way that they can to kind of stand in the way and just say something, you know. Some people have problems with kernel level things. They feel like it's intrusive on their systems and shit like that. Valorant got flamed for it. So there's gonna be people that, you know, are like that as well, that just won't download it. They'll try to, you know, be against it completely and all that shit, so. And there's all sorts of roadblocks for fucking everything. Also, there's actually supposed to be a zombies reveal as well. The thing is, I've been hearing rumors that the zombies stuff might be kind of like, not the zombies we're thinking of. Like, even if it were just like Cold War zombies, not Outbreak, but Cold War zombies, I would be completely fine with that because I was used to that experience. And I was thinking, since it was, you know, Treyarch or whatever, I was thinking that we would kind of have something like that, but I don't know. It's kind of, we'll have to wait and see what it's like, but even then, if they show like a zombies reveal or whatever, will they show how it works? Will they explain what it's like, or will it just be a trailer? Will we get any detail at all is what I mean. Maybe like some true gameplay, I don't know, like, you know, if you could see if it feels like it's round-based or like Outbreak or something else. I prefer it to obviously be more classic, round-based and shit like that. I know a lot of zombies players, like avid zombies players, didn't really like Cold War zombies. They thought it was like too noob-friendly and accessible or whatever. I get that, but I don't necessarily have a massive problem with it if it is like that, but my fear is that it's not like that at all. What if it's like an exclusive game mode that's like only available on PlayStation? It could be any nightmarish thing you could think of. It could be like an Outbreak related game mode that never gets updated, never gets new maps. Why would that be though? Why would they make the zombies content not as good? Why would they not have a classic zombies kind of thing? Does the IW engine pose some sort of problem? I'd imagine it would feel really cool and the zombies would look great. Every lobby I get into, it is like insanely sweaty. Do people VPN in multiplayer? Some people are saying with a kernel level anti-cheat, people can't use like certain third-party programs to, like, for example, people that make renders for thumbnails.
Man, are you a real Jeff? What the fuck was that?
Next.
Dude's mad he got clipped. It's okay, man. I'm not making montages anymore. We're past. I've always made my own thumbnails the entire time, so I don't know that much about all this shit. I don't hire anybody to do anything for me. I do all of it myself. I create all of it myself. I do all the thumbnails myself, and people have like editors and thumbnail designers and people that help them with titles and things like that. They tell them all the optimal words to use and all sorts of other shit like that. And the people that are making the thumbnail, they have to be able to, like, I guess, like, extract 3D models and stuff like that so they can, you know, still look correct, but then they can adjust them and make them pose and stuff like that for thumbnails and screenshots in these certain programs. But if there's a kernel level anti-cheat, it's very likely that it won't allow access of any type to have another program interact with. Obviously, I don't know shit, but in my mind, that's how it's working. The anti-cheat will make it so, content-wise, for thumbnails, you actually can't get that stuff done. Now, again, I mean, you don't really need those kinds of thumbnails. I mean, look at mine. Incredibly low effort. You can do it. And in terms of low effort, no, that's my best effort. I'm trying. But yeah, that does suck for a lot of people for that. Those people consistently get paid and make really great-looking thumbnails and things that definitely capture the eye of people, so it sucks that that's gonna be a problem that they're gonna have to deal with. I don't know if they'll find any way around it or if it's just automatically just dead in the water for that kind of shit, but that sucks. There's positives and negatives, you know what I mean? But I think anti-cheat, for how long we've been crying and asking for it this entire time, we're gonna get it, and it should work. Like 90% of the time.